Raiders Nation, get ready. The NFL draft is just days away, and the Las Vegas Raiders are making waves with some sizzling news. Today, we're diving into the secrets behind the top 30 visits and dropping a bombshell about a potential trade that could shake up the game. You don't want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join the nation to stay in the loop. First up, the Las Vegas Raiders have wrapped up their top 30 visits for the NFL draft, which is just 9 days away. That's right, folks, the countdown is on, and it's time to break down what these visits mean for our team's future. Let's dive in because there's a ton to unpack here. The top 30 visits are where teams bring in prospects to get to know them better, chat with coaches, and see if there's that spark. The Raiders hosted 30 players, and the list is telling: quarterbacks. That's nearly 28% of the visits. Names like Cam Ward, a potential first rounder, to guys who could go undrafted. UDFAs. What's the takeaway? The Raiders are doing their homework and thinking long-term at quarterback. Even after trading for Geno Smith, it's clear the franchise wants to secure the future at the game's most critical position. Cornerbacks. 3 offensive linemen, 3 defensive tackles, 3 linebackers, or edges depending on how you classify Jalen Walker. 2 running backs, 2 safeties, and 3 wide receivers. This spread shows the team is eyeing multiple areas, but with a clear focus on bolstering the trenches and the secondary. The final 2 visitors? Darius Alexander, a defensive lineman from Toledo, and Teroa McMillan, a wide receiver from Arizona. These guys could be on the team's radar as hidden gems. My initial take: the Raiders won't draft anyone at the number 6 overall pick who hasn't been through a top 30 visit. Relationships are everything for head coach Pete Carroll and GM John Spytek. They want players they've already connected with who felt the Vegas vibe. And with 8 quarterbacks on the list, it's obvious a QB is a priority. Maybe not in the first round, but at some point in the draft. Another tidbit: only 2 running backs made the visit list: Ashton Genty and Caleb Johnson. Both are bruising, physical runners who fight for every yard. Know who'd love that style? Pete Carroll, who's bringing that Seahawks grit to Vegas. Picture one of these guys as the thunder to Raheem Mostert's lightning in the backfield. That could be a dynamic duo. Even after beefing up the defensive line in free agency, the Raiders are still focused on the trenches. 3 offensive linemen and several defensive line prospects, including edges, signal a desire for depth and talent in game-changing positions. I like our current O-line, but I'll be honest, signing Alex Kappa didn't exactly light my fire. Still, I see the Raiders grabbing a lineman in the first 3 rounds. And here's the big one: wide receiver is a glaring need. Names like Jalen Nowell, Luther Burden, and Teroa McMillan popped up in visits, which makes me think the Raiders will target a WR in the first or second round, maybe even the third. I love Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers, but we need more firepower in the passing game. Even if we draft one of these guys, I'd bet the team still chases a veteran in free agency. How about a guy like Tyler Lockett? Dare to dream. Here's my hot take: this year's draft is loaded, especially in rounds 2 and 3. Many of the players the Raiders brought in for top 30 visits are projected for those rounds. That's why I'm team trade back. And don't get me wrong, if the team picks someone at number 6, I'm all in. But with so much talent in the mid-rounds, trading down for more picks could be the key to building a deeper roster. What do you think, nation? Now, let's talk about the rumor that's got everyone buzzing: a potential trade for Jalen Ramsey. Yes, the 7-time Pro Bowl cornerback, currently with the Miami Dolphins, might be on the move. According to insiders like Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, the Dolphins and Ramsey are open to exploring trade options, and he could be playing elsewhere in 2025. And guess who's at the top of the betting odds to land him? You got it, the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's what we know: Ramsey's contract. He's got $25.1 million guaranteed for 2025, but no guaranteed money from 2026 to 2028. That means the Raiders could treat this as a 1-year prove-it deal and rework the contract later. Trade. Cost: likely a 3rd-round pick, per our source at Chat Sports, Nick Roloff. With other teams in the mix, the price could shift, but a 3rd rounder feels doable. Cap hit $21.1 million in 2025, but the Raiders have the cash and flexibility to make it work. let me be straight with you. I'm all in on bringing Jalen Ramsey to the Raiders. Here's why. Proven elite talent. Last season, Ramsey played 17 games, allowed a 70.8% completion rate, 546 yards, 2 touchdowns, and had 2 interceptions, 5 passes defended, and a 93.5 QB rating against. That was a down year for him, playing in a Dolphins defense that was on the field way too much due to a shaky offense. Elite mentality. Ramsey's got that Max Crosby swagger. He knows he's great and backs it up on the field. He's the kind of competitor Pete Carroll loves. A leader who raises everyone's game. Instant impact. Ramsey would be the Raiders' CB1, no question. He'd likely take Eric Stokes' starting spot, and young guys like Shaquori Bennett would learn a ton from him. You won't find a corner of his caliber in the 3rd round of the draft. Age isn't a concern. Sure, Ramsey's 30 now and will be 31, 32, 33 during the contract. But we've seen elite players like Calais Campbell and Casey Hayward thrive at that age. Until we see Ramsey slow down, I'm betting on him. I'll admit, when I started digging into this, I didn't think the Ramsey trade was that likely. I figured teams like the Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco 49ers, or even the LA Rams might snag him. But after seeing the latest Vegas odds, which list the Raiders as the top favorite, I'm sold. As I always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And Vegas always knows something we don't. If this trade goes down, it'll cost $21.1 million in 2025. But the Raiders can restructure the deal. With Pete Carroll locked in for 3 years with an option for a 4th, Ramsey fits the plan perfectly. If it's for a 3rd round pick, I say make this trade. Ramsey in silver and black will be absolutely electric. Now I want to hear from you. If the Raiders can land Jalen Ramsey for a 3rd round pick, should they pull the trigger? Drop a comment below. T for trade or P for pass? My take, I'm team trade. Ramsey would be a game changer for our roster, and I can already see him dominating in silver and black. What do you think? Sound off in the comments like this. Video and share it with Raiders Nation. Until next time, let's go Raiders!